Welcome to the Save Par Golf Podcast, where two average golfers talk about golf and things. I'm your host, Derek.
I'm your host, Dominic.
We are currently on episode 64. As this year is coming to a close, we would like to end the season by thanking all of our previous guests, and of course, we'll talk a little golf and food as well. Dom, this has been a good year.
60. Well, I shouldn't say we've done 64 episodes this year, but
Now
this is number 64.
This is number 64. We made a big improvement from our first season. So essentially, we've been on season 1, season 2, and we'll kick off season 3 starting in January. Correct?
January 10th to be exact.
Perfect. So season 3, be on the lookout. We got a couple of cool new things that we're going to kind of put in the works in our podcast. Have some awesome new guests. Is there anything that you can think of too that we'll have a couple of cool giveaways too as well.
Yeah.
For the podcast.
And then obviously we're going to do some events and stuff like that, but don't want to announce anything yet just because it's kind of too far gone.
For sure. It's not quite, we're hashing everything out, so it's not official, but we're making progress.
Finally, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it feels like we're just kind of plateaued for a while.
Yeah, we're a little stagnant.
It is what it is.
But we just want to say, essentially, we kind of want to just highlight all the different guests that we've had on this season. And then we want to also thank all of our listeners and all of our subscribers, all the people that have actually watched it too, because we've had some of our episodes on YouTube, which is also kind of one of the things we'd like to do moving into season 3, probably more the middle of the season 3, where we'll be
more consistent.
Yeah, maybe have a studio set up, an official studio, the Save Par Golf headquarters. So that's kind of one of our goals moving into the next season. So again, with that being said, appreciate all of our guests and appreciate all of our listeners and supporters. We'll start that in a second, but I just wanted to note that we talked about it before off air, but I'm sure everyone is aware of it. But Augusta National Golf Club announced that any golfer who qualified for the Masters tournament based on its previous criteria will be invited to the 2023 Masters, which includes, I believe, 16 golfers that are competing in the Live Golf tours right now. So that'll be interesting to see.
I think that's how it should have been, kind of regardless. And I don't know why it's so like it was almost like breaking news, and it really shouldn't have been, in my opinion, because I mean, you have players like, Dustin Johnson won the Masters, Phil Mickelson has won the Masters, Bubba's won it twice.
Patrick Reed's won it once.
Patrick Reed, I totally forgot about Patrick Reed.
Yep. So yeah, there's those guys obviously will be competing, and I can't wait to see what the groups are going to be. I hope they just pair like Rory, Phil, and like DJ,
Yeah.
something like that. I think that's going to make for some good drama, some good TV. I'm excited for them. I think, again, I don't know the whole like moving for the future. I don't know what that's going to entail.
Yeah,
but
it is nice to be able to have them play together, because at the end of the day, those set players, they did win a Masters, whether you want to like them or not anymore. I mean, they're still etched in history.
They have how many Masters champions that play every year still to this day that are 50, 60 years old.
And then people go, wow, they're still playing. Like, to me, if you want to make the sport competitive and still continue to grow the sport of golf or the game of golf, why wouldn't you let these guys compete, especially if they are previous winners or qualified?
On another note with Live Golf, it's not Greg Norman, but their number 2, he had just resigned. I don't know.
Didn't Greg Norman resign?
No, they're trying to get Greg Norman.
That's what it was.
Yeah, it's the number 2 executive, basically, the guy that's underneath Greg Norman. And I don't want to talk about it too much because I really haven't followed it too
It makes
closely,
you wonder
so
if there's like
really
some
know.
like shady stuff or just like the pressure.
Could be. I mean, there's a big battle between PGA Tour, the biggest golf league in the world, versus now this new up and coming golf league that's trying to really
steal and push onto their turf.
I hope they can work all together at the end of the day and make things work, because it's more exciting in my opinion.
Well, it just seems like
golfers in the world.
It seems like Liv wants that to happen, but it just seems like PGA is so against it. And I know it's always going to be Liv versus PGA, but it honestly just seems like the PGA is like, hey, it's either you're doing it our way or you're not doing it at all. And it seems like their way just doesn't include Liv.
My way or the highway,
which
is what they're
is
saying.
it just feels wrong. You know, like you have all those players. Well, I shouldn't say all of them, but a good majority of them have played on tour, and some of them have even had success on tour.
And then we had the PNC Championship, which was very cool to see. Charlie Woods, I know
This is like my least favorite week of the year.
It's unbelievable though. 13-year-old kid. I mean, Tiger even said Charlie's hands are bigger than Tiger's, and of course, this is gonna just blow up the social media even more. But the guy's swing is.
I have like a dumb question.
Yeah.
What do big hands have to do with golf? You know what I mean? Because like obviously, big hands in football means something. Big hands in baseball, but like golf, you're holding a golf club. That's something I've never understood.
Yeah, I don't know like the specifics behind it. I think it was just more of the comparison that he's 13 years old.
Oh, okay.
And Tiger's.
I didn't know.
But they will say that Tony Finau just had like ginormous hands.
Yeah, we learned that
with the grip.
Yeah,
he had like the. So I don't know if there's an advantage to that, but I think it's more of a comparison based off his age.
God, I didn't know if they were like trying to be like, oh yeah, he's gonna be this much better because of his big hands, and I kept reading. I was like, I don't get it.
And if any listener knows that reasoning,
I feel like that's something Brendan would know.
Yeah, some sort of.
I feel like he's got some sort of knowledge on that.
Sure. So if you do chime in, send us a DM or you send us a comment. But the Vijay Singh and his son won it. I think it was their 13th event.
I have a Masters flag signed by Vijay
Singh.
Yeah.
Yep. So that was very cool to see. I didn't watch a lot of it, but I know a lot of people complained because it was all Tiger and Charlie, and I get it to an extent.
That's why it's my least favorite week, because it's like there are all these great players. Because wasn't it last year? It was JT and his dad that won it.
I believe Daly and his son won it.
Sorry,
it was the year before.
The year before. JT and his dad won it, and nobody cared because it was all about Tiger. And it's like, I get it, but it's also like, this year Charlie's 13.
Yeah,
I just feel like people are like on him, and it's just like, let him kind of be like, it's almost weird seeing him plastered all over Instagram and stuff like that.
It is a little weird. I think for me, it's more or less like, how much more time are we going to get to see Tiger? So that's why I like it. But yeah, I do think that they should put a little bit more of some footage on like John Daly and his son.
Well, they have, I don't know if he says, but they have Hooters jackets.
Yeah, that's he signed an NFL.
Yeah.
He's got
they have like Hooters sport coats.
But they were saying like he showed up like 15 or 20 minutes before their first round of golf, when it's like every one of those players is going through the pre-shot routine on the range and all that, and they just show up, which is why people love John Daly. And so I definitely think there could probably be more coverage on other players, and I think that's where it would be cool if you could maybe even like pick the like, even if you have your
Switch
TV
feeds.
like you can like they're recording those players.
Yeah,
it's just that they're airing. You know what I mean? So it's like if you have a favorite golfer, it's like you should be able to like click on your TV or your computer where you can be like, that's my favorite. Like they do at the Masters.
Yeah,
you can click your favorite and you can see them play.
So, do you think Tiger would ever retire from golf, or do you think he's going to go to like the Champions Tour?
No, well, that's a good question.
Because I think he could still go to the Champions Tour and play.
He would be, I think, the only player if he was able to win all the majors and a senior PGA championship trophy. So cool. That would be kind of cool. But other than that, like he said, he's really only going to be competing in all the major champions, and he said
you saw that
a year or two. So I think that's more of the how long are we going to get to see this, and it's the fact that it's his son and his dad. And the son, I don't think Tiger would put him in that light if Charlie didn't want that necessarily.
Yeah,
there is that both sides. I don't have kids. You don't have kids, so it's like but you see a lot of the parents are like, "This is they shouldn't do this," but it's Tiger's son at the end of the day, and if he didn't feel that Tiger or Charlie was ready for that, I don't think he would really want to put him in that spot.
Yeah, and I feel like, especially with how Tiger was raised, seeing all this stuff, I don't want to like talk too much about his dad, because obviously it's not our place to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think he would subject his son to that, where it's just like, hey, you're going to do this, this, and this.
He did say that he likes to mentally like mess with him, like his dad did. So
I saw some of that. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, which is, I mean, I never really thought of it that way, but that's kind of a good way to.
I think you can do it
mentally prepared.
You can do it the right way. You can do it the wrong way.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yep, 100%. So there was a PNC championship, and then of course what that was before that, because we haven't really had this is the first time we've talked together as far as just having our own episode in quite some time. So it's kind of fun to switch it up a little bit. But we're here negative 4 today.
Hold on,
we're gonna check. Hold on. It's nice and cold here, and
so it's currently -5, but the real feel is -21.
There we go.
And this is degrees.
So
none of that
all of
Celsius
you people listening
stuff.
in like warm temperatures right now.
Yeah, those people who go, oh man, 30's cold. Like, dude, it's 21 below Fahrenheit.
Yeah, and we're supposed to get a snowstorm that's supposed to be pretty nasty.
We're supposed to have a blizzard tomorrow.
So it's kind of low key here for golf, but they did have the
what's golf
exactly. I'm going to Google it. But they also had the match, which I know you said you didn't really watch much of that.
I haven't really been interested since like the first one.
The cool thing with this one though is it was under the lights.
I've seen clips. I thought the night was really cool, and I liked how they were like messing with each other with the carts.
Yeah, Tiger would hit.
I just don't really care to see two pros go against two pros. You know what I mean?
I think they're all pretty close as far as like just being good buddies, so it makes it a little bit better. But
the clip seemed kind of fun because who won? Was it?
It was JT and Jordan Spieth.
Yeah, and obviously we know they're boys.
Yep.
And it was kind of cool to be like, oh, look who won.
Dethroned two of the biggest spokespeople of the PGA Tour, obviously.
The young guys, nonetheless. Exactly. The new wave.
Yep. So that was kind of cool to see. I didn't watch all of it, but I did watch most of it, and I think it's kind of cool. I think they should start doing some more of those, and obviously they have Tiger and Rory and some other investors have that new league coming out, I think starting in next year, the year after. It's like that indoor type of like Top Golf type of stuff. It's like an arena.
Oh.
But that's still like in the works, but they're launching, I think, in like either next year or the following year. But it's going to basically be like they're going to host it during like events, and it'll be like it's like an indoor type of thing where they're like it's like stadium, so like people can go in.
Yeah,
which is kind of cool. Just a different way to grow the game, I guess, and it could be a flop, but it might.
I just don't like to be like, oh, hype this event up, and it's like two pros and two pros. You're like, oh wow, it's like just any other given weekend, you know.
The nice thing about that is they do keep like a Charles Barkley in the loop, so you do have that in the ear, so that makes it somewhat
I do like to listen to Chuck.
Yeah, for sure. That guy's a national treasure.
I love his mom tattoo idea. Did I ever send you that?
Oh, yeah.
He wants to get an M and M on one cheek, M on the other cheek, and then when it says mom, and then when he goes, yeah, when I'm upside down, it says wow. And in my first thought, I was like, why would he be upside down?
That was my thought, too.
And then my second thought was, oh, there's the O.
Yep.
And I was like,
Ernie is like, where's the O? And then that's, yeah. So it was.
Did you see Kelsey Plum? So Barkley was like, hey, can you guarantee a repeat?
Oh, yes, I did.
And she goes, well, since I'm the one who's won, we can't do that. And they're like, oh, shots fired. Yeah, and I was like, oh,
he has no idea because he's never won. Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Charles Barkley's fantastic.
National treasure.
He really is.
He and Marshawn Lynch.
He is also.
I love Marshawn.
I love him.
We need Marshawn in golf.
That would be, yes, announcer, even though he'd get.
No, I want him
like
to play.
Happy Gilmore.
I want him to play.
That would be cool too, but he would be he'd be like Happy Gilmore though, like swearing the whole time.
Oh, for sure. I could see him playing. He'd have like a big chain on and that big bucket of Skittles in his cart.
So yeah, we haven't really had a whole lot of golf going on, but that's kind of what we've.
Oh, I have an article.
Oh, you have an article? All right.
Yeah. I talked about it and then totally forgot it.
Yes. You're talking about with the lawsuit.
Yeah. So there was that. I don't know how long ago this was, but I remember hearing about it. There's that Massachusetts couple that had their house is on like the 15th hole of a golf course, and they were suing, and the court awarded them like $5 million in damages against the country club because the balls would hit their house, even though they're on the golf course. You know what I mean? Like, first of all, like, stupid.
Yeah, don't be on the golf course if you're.
That was overturned.
So they got awarded it, and then they said, no, we've changed our mind.
Yeah, so I went to let me find the correct wording just so I don't butcher anything. So this is an article, and it said, however, in Tuesday's unanimous decision, the Supreme Judicial Court ruled that the trial judge did not interpret the documents creating the covenants and restrictions properly. They basically go on to say that because you live on a golf course and because errant shots and shots that go the wrong way are just part of the game, that you kind of have to just suck it up and deal with it.
So do you think like they're complaining based off of like
So
you have
they
insurance, but you have to pay? I'm assuming
they
like,
cited emotional distress. That's how they got 3.4. That $5 million was that they were like emotionally distressed. And my first thought was like, why'd you buy a house on a golf course? But they said that within like however long they were there, that they had like 8 windows broken from golf balls and stuff like that. And again, why are you living on a golf course? It'd be like sitting front row at like the zoo and you're watching a dolphin, like the dolphin stuff,
Yep.
and then they splash you.
like, dude,
And you're
it's
like,
wet.
Yeah, and you're like, well, why would you sit in the front row of the dolphin jumping?
Okay, what if though maybe they bought that house before that course was developed?
No, because they bought the house in 2017 and the course had been there prior.
Okay, so that makes sense.
Because that was my first thought, and then I kept reading, and no, they had bought the house, and the course was already there.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. The only thing that would really bother me is that like get in a car accident or something happens, you obviously have to pay your
yeah. One of the guys said it's, quote, to the mental exhaustion of worrying about golf ball strikes and his children's safety and his observations of his wife's hopelessness and his children's fear, stress, and nervousness. Well, so if you can afford, obviously the listeners can't see it, but if you can afford that house on a golf course, I think you could probably afford to move.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And it's a beautiful house. I just thought it was so dumb. So for reference, the course was built in 99 and 2000.
Okay.
So they bought the house on the course. It's hard for me to feel bad when people do that and they know what they're getting into.
Mm-hmm.
And to your point, if it was built there after, that'd be one thing.
It'd be a little bit more understandable for sure. Well, that's a good story. It's some good research there.
Yeah, I typed in golf and then clicked news.
There you go. Well, that's pretty much all the golf news we really have to end the
segment.
The segment. Before we kind of start thanking some of our guests, was there any good grub that you can think of that you've had recently? That either you've made or
I mean, I stole some of your wife's salsa last week.
That was pretty fire salsa.
That was pretty good. There's still some in the fridge. I've been eyeballing it. It might just go home with me.
I told her I'm going to start
I don't know how many times I have to tell her I want a jar. And I know she doesn't always listen.
We'll get you on, yeah.
But like, I want a jar. I'm not going to say her name because that's not right. But like, I want a jar.
We'll get you a jar. Christmas gift.
Like a big ass jar. Like a gallon.
Make that happen, yeah. I actually told her I want to buy some more of those type of.
I think the antique jars are pretty cool.
Or like that'd be cool too. Like a big mason jar.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't really had. I'm trying to think if I've had anything out of the ordinary that was really. She's been actually cooking a lot of good food lately, which has been really nice because I've been really kind of under the weather with my neck and my head, and my back. But on other news, but she's been spoiling the crap out of me with cooking food. So I mean, a lot of it's been homemade food.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been. Oh, and then pozole, had some pozole, which we shared that, which you never knew what it was. And
you didn't let me try any.
I didn't.
You ate it all.
No, I did have some left over.
No, you sat there and you ate it in front of me.
Oh, I know, but I had some in the fridge.
Wow.
I thought you would have ate something.
No, you never let me try it. Because you also never let me try.
That was like 2 weeks before that. That was just because I was mad at you. But this time, this time I really did have some left over.
Oh. No, you told me that you were eating the last bowl of it. And I was like, okay.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I had some left over, actually.
Yeah, because you kept going, this is really good.
It was really good.
Not those exact words, but you're like,
yeah,
wow.
Yeah, it was pretty tasty, which that wasn't homemade, but if she does make some of that, I will definitely save you some.
Cool.
If it's good, though.
Well, I mean, I can't imagine you'd eat it if it was bad. I can't imagine she would also make anything that's bad.
That's true. She's been fantastic. So the cooking skills are really, really improving. Not that she was bad before, but she's been spoiling her food. So
good catch.
Good catch, yeah. Other than that, no, that's pretty much about it. So enough of the boring food talk of our. We'll have to do a segment. I know we always talk about food, but maybe once a month where we'll do like some sort of review.
like a local place that we've
something
never
like
been
that.
to.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
We should do Juicy Lucy's
That's a good
since
start.
that's a Minnesota thing.
Yep. And then maybe we could do like a segment where like we do it and whoever our guests, like we can let them know ahead of time. Like maybe they could do a review too of a place that maybe like they've never tried.
I see. Okay, I was like,
Kind of like,
well,
so it's not just like Minnesota based.
Yeah,
like,
well, I was trying to think where you're going because I was like, man, if they're not from here, they're not going to get like Matt's Bar or the 5/8 Club.
So that's what I'm saying. So we can take notes. So when we go there, we can hit those places up. So that might be something. I know we already kind of talked. We always ask that question, but this might be a place maybe they've never tried, and we could a new hotspot or something like that. So, but yeah. So moving on to the end of season 2. So I can't believe we're already coming to a close.
I can't believe it's December. So as we're recording this, it's the 20th.
Yes. Yep. And then obviously we'll be off next week during, for the Christmas break, and then
we're off New Year's.
So yeah, it's nice to have the break, but it's unfortunate because we've been for the most part consistent. Yeah.
I think it's fair.
Yeah. 100%.
You need a break from me. I need a break from your dog.
She's literally zonked out in the chair right now. But with that being said, kicking it off, just to highlight, we'll try to get to all of them. I mean, there's so many, but definitely want to talk about most of them. But I'll just kick it off with Mark with Kraken Golf.
That was great.
That was a fantastic.
Loved it. I cannot wait. He sent us a couple tools that he lasered our logo into.
Super excited.
I cannot wait until our 4.5 feet of snow is gone so I can go
get some pictures.
I couldn't think of the word, but yeah, fix the divots. Yep. Yeah.
And then we had a blast with Luke with Backblast Golf.
Yeah.
He's fantastic.
I messaged him because I had I bought a couple shirts. And I'm not like Matt to say that. Like I support his business. I got one that's got a big turtle on the back, and people are always like, "Where'd you get that from?" I told him. He goes, "Yeah, point in my direction." I'm like, "No, I'm going to point him the other direction." Like, yeah.
Like, nope, I can't tell you. Luke was fantastic. Bogey Boys, Jake and Ryan. That was fun.
Super fun.
We're definitely going to have a 2v2 match here coming up.
Did you see I tagged Can Wonderland?
That's the one in St. Paul that we're talking about going to, right?
It's in St. Paul or Minneapolis. Yeah. I think it's like on the border.
Yep. And we just recently had Wedge Golf Co. on. So if you haven't listened to that, check that one out. That was Dane. That was super fun. We had to cut that short, unfortunately, a little bit, but we still had a good time.
That was super cool to learn about what they do.
Yep, and they're a big event coming.
They're a multifaceted company.
Yeah, very cool. And then the Trolls Golf Club, Josh, Danny, and Corey.
They're super interesting.
Very interesting. Still like a new upcoming.
They're kind of like retooling their release, but I think it's still really cool in terms of what they're trying to do.
I love it.
And I really want it to work out.
Yep. And I think it will. Like I said, it's just I think there's so many, the NFT world and all that is still so new to a lot of people. It's just going to take some time. But that was a good informational episode too. So, and I should be mentioning the episodes in case you guys do want to listen to those, so I apologize. But Kraken's episode 59, Backblast Golf is episode 60, Bogey Boys is episode 62, Wedge Golf Co. is episode 63, and you also, I couldn't make it that time. I was on a nice vacation in Vegas, but you had a conversation with the OTS Golf, which I'd like to have them on.
I sure did.
Yes, and that's episode 61. So if you're definitely check that out. And that was what Bryson
Mac.
Yeah. So like to have those guys
super good dudes. I know after the fact, Mac and I kind of stayed on and talked for another half hour, 45 minutes. Definitely something that I'd like to have them on our side, and all four of us. But definitely cool guys out of Canada.
We got a lot of decent amount of Canadian supporters, which is awesome. Yeah. I was going to say Canada's and I said Canadians. Canadians. I knew that. Which we'll mention also the two guys from the
Mulligans and Hackers.
I love those two guys.
Those guys are great.
Govern.
I love that one.
That was fantastic. Not the biggest golf episode, right?
That one was like I tell people that one was for us.
100%.
You know, that was just we wanted to talk to him. To this day, I still send him shoes. Like, hey, what can we do with this? Because like I found like a cool like ACG shoe, and I'm like, this would be sweet, like a sweet sole on like a '90s basketball shoe because they look like boots to me, like an Air Raid or something. I was like, that would be sick.
I love that episode too. There was like a sneakerhead / golf, like.
Well, and the cool thing for me is like I work in the running industry, so I have access to all these cool like shoes. So like I could put a carbon plate sole on something that would has no business being carbon plated, and to me, it's just like the thoughts are just wild.
Yeah,
he's done a couple of running shoes too, so it's like a little easier.
I have him. He's like one of the accounts that I have him on my like notifications.
Oh, really?
See his new.
God, you're obsessive.
He does some awesome ones, but that was an awesome one. And then speaking of shoes, we had Sonny with Tomo Golf shoes.
Yeah,
Tomo Golf.
Those are I cannot, like I said, I can't wait for the 4th feet of snow to be gone. Even though the pair I have are waterproof.
I wore them out actually like 2 weeks ago, just to like wear them because it's a casual golf shoe.
Oh, I haven't.
And super comfy.
I got my fuzzy Crocs. I've been wearing those.
Oh gosh, but I did actually several
compliments.
Yeah. So shout out Sonny. They are super awesome shoes, and that was really just a cool experience learning about kind of how we started the business. That's
the
episode
process.
56.
I believe our promo code's good through the end of the year, so you can use SafePar. I think for 15% off. I'll have to double check.
15% off.
Yeah.
Yep. Good call. SafePar. 15% off. Good to the end of the year. So. I know it's Christmas or holidays or whatever.
You get your significant other a late Christmas gift.
Yeah, absolutely. Sucker Pin Society, Beard and Wheels.
I talk to Beard literally every day. And I know he's going to hear this and go, yeah, that's right, Dom.
Beard and Wheels are awesome.
He and I have kind of talked about doing a podcast on our own. So I'm hoping if I put it on this podcast, he'll have to speak into existence for me or for it. I want to do one with him just because I think that'd be hilarious. And it's just not even golf, it's like baseball.
I think
because we love baseball.
Yeah, no, I think it'd be great.
Nah.
I think you'd be very good at it as well. So a big shout out to those guys. That was episode 54. We had a blast.
That's 10 episodes ago.
Yep.
Isn't that wild?
It's crazy. And that was a long episode too.
Yeah, that's one that could have gone on for like 6 hours.
Mm-hmm. And most of them could for the most part.
Yeah.
But that one like seemed like it just went extra long in a good way.
Yeah.
So that was a blast. And then following up with that one, we had Back Nines Only with Tony, Dale, and Mike. And that was also another cool episode. That was one where we recorded and they were
that was
2 out of the 3 were at the
at like a sports bar. That one was cool because obviously we had known about, we had met Tony and Dale.
Yep.
We had never met Mike. And all 3 of them are just such characters, and they're so fun.
Yeah, we definitely got to hang out with those guys. Those guys are awesome. That was episode 53.
We should like legitimately plan like a trip to Milwaukee.
We should when it gets a little warmer.
Yeah.
But yes.
So not like tomorrow.
No. Episode 52 is Los Golferos, and that was with
I feel like we talked to them.
Raul, Ralph, and Hector. And same thing, yeah. It's just so cool to be able to like connect with these guys on a daily basis after the fact.
That's why I love Instagram and our like little chats we have going on.
It's awesome. Those guys were freaking fantastic, and I can't wait to get up.
I'm so bummed.
To the Bay Area, California area, and
I'm so bummed I haven't used my towel yet.
I got it strapped to my bag though. Right?
That's my issue. It's like it's sitting there and it's just like taunting me.
Yes. But that was episode 52. Give that a listen. We also had them. I think that was one of our first episodes we put on YouTube.
Yes, I think it was the first one because I think the second one.
Do we have Nelson Towers and Turn on YouTube?
No.
Okay, yeah, no. I think Los Golferos was the first one. So give that a watch it if you'd like and subscribe.
I mean, technically, I still have all the videos, so I could go back and then they'd just be out of order for a little bit. But maybe during our break, I'll continue to upload some of the older ones on YouTube.
That'd be pretty cool.
I'll get permission and everything.
Yeah. We had the border battle with the Old Fashioned Golf, which they're for border battle. We were in Minnesota, they're in Wisconsin, so they just kind of put out some new.
I loved how much shit they were talking about the Packers too.
I know it's still the season's not over yet, so I don't want to like.
No, I know
too crazy, but yes,
yeah,
it was a good time.
I have a lot of good conversations with them still. they're like, oh, because at one point I was cheering for the Packers because I wanted them to beat the Cowboys. And they did. And he was like, we agree on something. I was like, for this week, yeah.
I'd still take the Cowboys over.
I cannot stand the Cowboys. I hate the Cowboys more than I hate the Packers. And that says a lot.
Two of America's teams right there. Episode 50 was awesome. We actually got to talk to Alex Romo, who's one of the coolest human beings and like humble human beings.
Yeah.
The guy puts out awesome content. He's trying to make it to the PGA Tour. He is a professional golfer playing on mini tours. And that was a really cool episode. And he overcame a kind of a rare injury.
Mm-hmm.
Just the way he kind of is.
Yeah, continue to root for him and his journey. I'd love to see him on tour one day.
So good for Alex Romo. That's episode 50. And then our guy Nelson with Tacos at the Turn, episode 48. We had
his Maximo hat, I believe, just dropped.
Yes, it did, and it's pretty sweet. So
it's got like a little magnetic ball holder on it, and I think his on the other side has like a little tea holder.
It does, yep.
Yeah.
So that's Tacos at the Turn, and he just puts out funny stuff.
His reels are good.
Yeah, he does a really good job. So that's Nelson talking.
He is another one we talk to all the time, and it's like he doesn't always like reply, but like when he does, it's just like hilarious.
Yep. Episode 48, we had Vibes Golf Club, which was fantastic. We had No Way.
I love No Way.
No Way's a good dude, and they're doing really cool things over there at Vibes Golf Club. So that was a fun episode.
He's one that I'm hoping we end up meeting one day.
Yes, I think
the Midwestern group of guys, and I'd love to meet them and just talk to them, and maybe even play a couple holes with them.
For sure. Episode 47 was a lot of fun too. That was Josh Mayer Golf. So Josh Mayer, he's
super positive. Yeah. He just signed with Tacoma, the golf irons.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, I shouldn't say just, but a while ago. Sure. Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah.
He's fantastic. That's a good podcast episode. I think also that was episode 47. They said
I really enjoyed how positive and the energy he brought. And that one was super fun. Just, hey guys. And I was like, oh my God, it's like I've known you forever.
And then we're kind of getting down to here. So the Pinehurst 6 and the golf trips, I mean,
they're always great.
Those guys are fantastic. We'll probably have them on down the road again.
Oh, for sure.
Love to talk to those guys. We had Two Friends Golf.
Those are great guys.
Yeah, very cool dudes, and those guys are doing big things with their golf. Their golf clothing company. Those polos are awesome.
I don't even like calling them like a clothing company because I feel like they do a lot.
They do. Most of it is like apparel based, but they do a lot of other cool things as well. And the cool thing is a lot of
that's a fun one for people to go back and listen to because like they wrapped like a race truck.
Yep. And it was just kind of cool. The guy loved the polos. He saw them and he's like, hey, I want to just that's an expensive sponsor. And they were
and the shirts, I know I've worn both of mine and they're super comfortable.
Yeah, they fit really good. This is probably another one of my really favorite episodes was Evan with the Par Train.
Loved him.
Evan, that guy is incredible. He does really good things. His podcast is really cool. The cool thing with him and his podcast and his social media is his podcast was actually way larger than his social media was at one time, and that's kind of like reverse. So you obviously know he's doing something.
Quit playing footsie with me.
My bad. I was like, what is that?
That's my toe.
It's his toe.
My big toe.
Just got it. Oh, sorry. I lost my train of thought now.
No, I love
All Aboard train of thought. Yeah. No, All Aboard the Par Train.
I love that one. His merch just came out. I bought a shirt. It just says golf is mental. It was great. He compared me to Colin Morikawa, and nobody understands why.
But if you listen to the podcast.
Yeah, I don't have a mental golf game. But there's nothing going on in there.
If you do want to check out a really good podcast, Evan is by far probably one of the top golf podcast pages.
I love it. And it's just so positive.
Yep. Superfan Sprint, that was a fantastic one too.
They started their own pod.
Yes.
And I'm super excited. I want to go on it.
Yeah, hopefully we can hop on there next year.
I don't know if they're doing guests yet, but I would love to do guests with them. So maybe if they hear this, if not, I'll bug them on Instagram. I don't mind doing that.
There we go. And then you got Jeff with Chasing Aces. Fantastic.
Jeff was great. I love the Michael Jordan stories. I love that we just related to him so well. And I really want to fly out there and participate in one of his events eventually.
Yeah, if you are listening, they are hosting a 24-hour hole-in-one contest type of deal. It's all the donations.
That's in January, correct?
Yeah, they go to a local I don't know if it's a nonprofit. I'm not 100% sure, but if you go to Chasing Aces Golf, you can see it. But it's very cool. It's all the proceeds go to some sort of donation, which is awesome. So it's the way they're raising awareness. But Jeff is an awesome guy, and same thing. It's like one of those guys we could talk to forever. He just got awesome stories.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll have him on again, and then of course Brandon, Timmy, Brian with the Duffin' Up podcast. Those guys are fantastic.
Man.
Brennan is just full of energy. I love that guy.
Actually, we're gonna do it. We're gonna announce the vent line.
Do you want to do it now?
I do, because I really want to play it because I love it so much. Yeah.
I don't think we should play it yet.
We're gonna do it because I already have it pulled up.
I think we should.
Oh, I clicked on it. Oh, so shout out Brendan. We know you don't like frost delays, but jokes on you. We have like 4 feet of snow, so that's our frost delay. Next season, we want to do a vent line where people can like.
No, we're gonna do a vent line.
So we're gonna do it.
Yes,
and we want to have people kind of give us vents. We could kind of react to them. They can be fun. They can be serious. Brendan's been big on frost delays, and I had him test it out.
Yes, and this could be like, we're in the Midwest, so even if you can't golf, we'd still love to hear you vent that you can't golf.
We can't golf.
We can't golf right now. I mean, we could, I guess, if we fly somewhere. But I'm saying if you're just like stationed
we could go
somewhere,
to like a simulator, but it's not the same thing.
Yeah. So if you just want to vent that like you just can't golf right now, we want to hear it.
So this is like a great example. So this is what we're going to be doing next year.
Derek, Dominic, how are we, guys? Brendan from Duffin' Up here. One thing I wanted to rant about, and I think both of you know it's coming, it's frost delays. It's frost delays are a giant conspiracy theory. Nobody knows why they exist. It's all about big golf and the government getting all of their friends out there and getting them out towards hole 12, hole 13, or hole 5. They do not care about us regular golfers. They don't. So they do a frost delay so that way all of the important people can go out, get their front 9 in before work, and get off. Meanwhile, I'm sitting there with my hands down my pants being cold and waiting for 2.5 hours until I can tee off because of a silly frost delay. It's a conspiracy. It does not exist. We need to stop this.
And that, my friends, is what we call the Save Par Golf vent line. So we are here to vent with you.
It's perfect. It's under a minute. We can kind of react to it and we can kind of answer it. Because for me, the number one way to not have a frost delay, you don't play in the morning.
Okay.
Twilight golf.
That's a good way to exactly.
See, boom.
He's just venting, and we're trying to either help vent with him or problem solve, which Dom just did. So
Brendan, quit playing in the morning. It's easy.
This is going to be something that we want to include on every episode, and it's essentially going to be like not like a commercial or anything like that, but it's going to be like a clip that we're going to put in each episode. So we'll post on our Instagram as well, and we'll send people the link. Mm-hmm. That they can send.
It's actually already in our bio.
It's in the bio. Save Par Golf Podcast on Instagram. If you go into the bio,
click the little link tree, it just says vent line,
and I'll put it into mine as well. And you can literally we're gonna pick like each week. We'll pick like the best one,
best couple.
Yeah, we could do that. And again, just keep it short. It'd just be like a short little voicemail. But again, it could be something from you're upset that you ordered some food at the turn and they were all sold out. Let's just hear it.
Yeah, you're upset that you got your hot dog juices or your ketchup all over your shorts.
You ordered a blue Gatorade and they only had red.
Oh, that's good because I like the red one better.
Okay, but maybe you didn't. That's something like that. Or
so that's a sociopath thing then.
So maybe you paid $65 for a round of golf and they were all punched greens and they didn't tell you. You can vent. This is what we want. We want you to vent to us, and we want to put it on the air. So that's one of our cool things that we want to do in season 3. And
thanks to Brendan for being the guinea pig.
Thanks, Brendan, for being the guinea pig. You did a fantastic job, by the way. And
I had no idea where he was going. He's like, you know what's coming, and I was like, I have no idea what's coming.
Really the best of beauty. So if you get more events, man, send them our way. We'd love to hear them. We'll post them. Again, that's going to be one of our cool features that we want to introduce in season 3. So we're excited about that. With that being said, we'll just quickly recap a couple more. Molly Golf, that one was awesome.
I'm actually wearing my
the Molly,
my Molly shirt.
Heck yeah.
Hell yeah.
Mike and Steve, shout out to you guys. That was awesome. you can't forget about our boy Jordan, man, with Odin Golf. He's helped us so much.
Yeah.
That guy's awesome.
Big Jord.
Big Jord. Yep. So we appreciate you. And
I
all
love
that you've done for us.
I love like the group of people that we talk to now. It's all just Big Jord, Big whatever. We all have our little nickname other than you.
D-Rock is my
That's
nickname.
not a nickname.
It's a nickname. It's a nickname.
Okay.
might vent on the vent line.
Do it. I'll play it and then I'll just delete it. I'll change the login.
We had Snappy Gilmore on the podcast.
We sure did.
Snappy, man, that guy's just all over the place.
He's blown up.
He's done
love
so
to see
well.
it.
Yes.
I love to see him go out and just smile throughout the game.
That's the best part of
it's so
his
positive.
attitude.
Yeah.
100%. And then we had, of course, Alvin and Chris from Mulligan's The Hackers, which we talked about.
I love those two.
Those two guys are awesome. Shout out to those guys. They did have us as a featured Safe Park Golf podcast and the Safe Park Golf as part of their tournament that they set up. So if you
totally meant to send them stickers and I totally forgot. And at the time, I didn't know how to send anything to Canada, and now I feel like a pro. So next year, I got you guys.
And then I will just. Oh, of course, we haven't talked to him in a while. I mean, I do message him every once in a while, but Luke, Leaderboard Customs.
I keep trying to have a shoe done, but I keep having like 15 ideas, and I can't narrow it down.
But he's fantastic. That guy is awesome. One of my favorite.
Yeah. That's one of those. Every time we talk to him, that's one that could go on for like 4 or 5 hours.
100%.
Other than him being an Ohio State guy.
Yeah, other than that.
Gross.
And then to kick off season 2, it was Josh with Haywood Golf. And that was an awesome one. That was a way to really start off season 2. Josh.
Haywood's great. I love my driving iron.
Yep, I love my irons. Fantastic company, and they're growing, and they're doing all the right things.
Yeah, he's starting to do fittings and everything.
Yeah, he's doing that quite a bit. They're like booked. I mean, they're filling up and everything. So
good. You love to see it.
Yep, and that's kind of what this whole podcast is all about. Have a good time. We want to kind of basically.
His merch is really cool.
His merch?
I really want a hoodie. I'm gonna order a hoodie.
That would be pretty dope.
Yeah, especially since it's like 15 below outside. I'm curious to see
his the driver and the wood and all that when they get it finalized.
I wonder if he'd let us test it.
Maybe. It'd be pretty cool.
It'd be sweet.
We'd try it out. So yeah, that's to sum it up. I mean, we had a lot of cool guests on, and obviously we named pretty much everyone.
I think we did name everybody.
Yeah, as I say, we obviously had our own episodes too in between then, but for the most part we were pretty consistent, and that was kind of what our whole goal was, is to be consistent.
Yeah,
and for the most part we've grown quite a bit. So moving into season 3, that is our goal again. And if you guys have any suggestions or anything like that you would like to recommend to us, or send us a message. But I think this vent line thing is going to be a hit. I think people are really going to like it, and it's just a fun, easy way to, it's something that you almost vent every time you're at the golf course.
Yeah.
Whether there's a long freaking line at the tee box and you have to wait for 7 groups.
Yeah, I like to think I don't vent, but then every once in a while I'm like, wow, this sucks. And then 9 times out of 10, it's always like, wow, it's really hot out.
Yeah, it's something minor, but again, if it's something like that, call in and say like, dude, you're 4 bottles deep of Aquafina because it's 97 degrees.
I've watched you drink 4 bottles of Aquafina and then complain you have to pee.
I gotta stay hydrated. But we want to hear, man. So the vent line, I'm gonna post that on our Instagram as well. We'll post a little story of that. We want to hear from you guys, so be on the lookout for that. We're gonna do some awesome, cool free giveaways coming up here soon too. So if you are listening, stay tuned. And again, we appreciate all of your guys' support.
Well, and if you're a company or somebody who knows a company that wants to be on, let me know. I'm always looking through DMs. I know there's one that I got and haven't replied to, so I apologize. I know it's there. I just haven't really wanted to reply yet.
Yeah, and we're pretty much, we have most of January booked up.
January is booked.
Yep, and then February, we even have some already in February. But
one.
We're working one. Okay, so we probably have 2 or 3 more that we're gonna.
Well, I think we're gonna have to take it off February.
Yeah.
Because I don't think your wife would appreciate you talking to me on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, that's probably true. But for the most part, we're booking slots up, which is awesome. So that's good.
Do we want to see who leads off season 3?
We'll wait.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll keep it a little. We'll tease it a little.
It's a good one. I'm excited.
Me too.
This is one that we've talked about for a while, and that he's wanted to be on for a while, and I'm excited
for sure. So thanks again, guys, and it will be a new year by the time we start next season. So
January 10th.
Yes, everyone have a safe.
Well, January 13th.
Yeah.
Will be the kickoff.
So just want to say happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year. And
I think Hanukkah started.
it did. Yes.
Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah.
I'm not Jewish, but
I'm
happy
not either,
Hanukkah.
but yes, for whatever you're celebrating. So we wish you a happy holiday and said a happy new year. And we look forward to posting some new content in 2023. That's weird to say.
Isn't it wild?
2023.
To think it's 20 below outside too, and it's just like it's a golf podcast,
It is.
golf and things.
Good job, Dom. Dom did a good job. He's been really consistent on this.
Nothing has broken yet, which is nice.
Yes.
Knock on wood.
So again, thanks again for listening, all your support.